Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video where we go through pocket change and see if we can find something worth some profit. So, if you're a newcomer to the channel, we look for quite a bit of things. I won't do my normal boring, speech in the beginning, outlining a bunch of it. We'll just kind of go through it as we go. So, we'll start with the Series 2013 $1 US Federal Reserve note. Obviously, that's outlined by it saying Federal Reserve note. Series date is down here. We first want to look at the serial number, see if there's one, do they match up? In this case, they do. It's highly unlikely that they wouldn't, but I've seen it happen, unfortunately not for myself, but for others, a couple of times. We also just look at the print, see if anything's shifted on it, any issues are with ink, stuff like that. These little bits of excess ink around the portrait here of Washington that's on the Federal Reserve note, those are really common. That's just from transfer from when they're still wet at the BEP. This extra inking on this third digit of the from the left of the serial number on 2013 series bills is super common, so not collectible there. This is a little bit of a press through kind of over ink issue from the coat of Washington from the front, so also not an error, very common. Nothing on the back here, so I throw all the money everywhere. A little bit different on the fives. Post September 2006, they redesigned the $5 bill to incorporate more anti-counterfeiting measures as well as change up the graphics. They enhanced them as well as kind of removed a few things and added a few things. Nothing in the serial number there, nothing jumping out on the front of the bill. Really beat up, so if it was collectible, that would detract from value with the condition of the bill. $1 note. 2013 series also, printed correctly. We don't see that over ink on that third digit. Little bit of shift in the seal, but it's still in the acceptable range. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of ink issues around the front of the Great Seal on the right hand side here. Not in this case, but there's a lot of repetitions of the number 13. You can check my video out that talks about the $1 bill and all the depictions on it, but not in that case. 2013 series also, probably the most common we'll see. 2017s have made their way in, and we get some older bills from time to time. This has got a heavy shift on this seal right here, just to give you an example. See how that's sitting more appropriately. This is really shifted down. Same with this seal here, sitting quite low, but still sitting across the lettering and acceptable as far as the print, although it's something to keep an eye out for. Nothing in the serial numbers so far. This is a newer 5 as well. I really like the newer 5s. The graphics enhancements on it are very cool in my opinion. A little bit of an over ink of the serial number from the front, but unless it's completely legible all the way through on the back side of the bill, I wouldn't consider it collectible. Another $5 bill. All these have been 2013 series so far. This one's really beat up and torn. So if there was issues with ink and stuff that would be considered errors, it'd be hard to tell simply because of the condition of the bill. Okay, we got a little bit of extra ink issue here, but you can tell from this blue coloring, get it closer to the camera, that that's not an ink that came on the bill. Albeit there is blue incorporated into the newer design, post 2007-ish, 2008 period of $20 bills. This is a 2003 series. This is a series 2004A. 20s are one of the first redesigned denominations of Federal Reserve note. That's just usually a counter stamp or just somebody drew across it with whatever. Nothing else on that guy. Over ink again, it's very common. You'll see it usually in both serial numbers as shown here. Same deal with the excess ink here. That's basically from where 1, this inside black line on 1 is written, comes through sometimes. Same over here. Nothing on that bill though. Not much going on there. Tim. Thanks, Tim. Other than Tim's name being on it, we've got nothing so far. Series 2013 also, we have a lot of ones in this one. I've been kind of using less cash, so I made a video today that incorporates pocket change from over the last little bit. Quite a bit of discoloration on the back here, also post-production damage. Little bit of over ink on the second digit, but still not really, not enough to call it dramatic enough for being collectible or anything like that. All 2013 so far. Here's another bit of foreign ink and what looks to be some pen ink or makeup or something. Ones have the shortest lifespan of bills overall, so, you know, they get pretty beat up and see quite a bit throughout their short lifespans in comparison to other denominations of Federal Reserve notes. Nothing on the front there. 2017 bill, so newer. It's less likely for us to see an over ink occur on the 2017s, but I have held on to a couple that incorporate heavy over inks on the serial numbers. Bit of foreign matter down here. That's actually just something raised on the bill. 2009 series, sitting really high on this margin, but as long as there's margin or border of the bill showing, it's fine. But something to keep an eye out for, and this could be used as an example of what to keep an eye out for, would be miscuts or misaligned prints. Generally, it's running off of an edge as opposed to the upper or lower edge. Nevertheless, it's something to keep an eye out for. If this is sitting up here where there is no margin, then that would be a misalignment and something to hold on to, because that would be considered an error at that point. 2001, also sitting really high, but once again, not within the range of being considered an error. It's also got a few other little shifts going on here, but really old bill. Whenever they invent the Jetsons, like 3D view where you can feel stuff, then you'll be able to tell just from how flimsy this bill is. Newer bill as well. The newest signature incorporates someone that prints their name as opposed to the traditional form of signature being cursive. Nothing there. Probably the best condition bill overall as far as ones are concerned in this bill search. Okay, sweet. Little STARNOTE. Always a good find. I love holding on to STARNOTEs. I wish the serial number would be a little more collectible. You know, maybe a trinary at the minimum with 3 of the same digits repeating themselves or something to that effect, or a date bill or birthday note. But nevertheless, still cool find though. I love STARNOTEs. STARNOTEs are replacement notes, of course, so something happened to the original bill with this serial number, and they had to replace it before it left to go into circulation, and they change the last letter here to a star to represent that it's a replacement note. Nothing other than that, but I love STARNOTEs. We'll hold on to that. More 2013 series $1 bills rather, as I see the date on the other one. Nothing in here. Pretty decent condition despite the fold in the middle, but just a buck. Really heavy shift here. So this is another good example. I mean, if this was actually sitting a little bit further off of this, I would hold on to it. By a little bit, if it was touching the edge of this O, it would mean this L, and if you notice the shift in the serial numbers here, so if we look at that previous bill, for example, they're the same year, you can tell that there's quite a bit of shifting going on in the seals and the serial numbers, which are done during the second printing of the bill, so that's a second print shift. But once again, this one isn't obscuring other parts of the bill, and that's when you would consider it collectible at that point, or an error note rather, but something to keep an eye out for. Really discolored. This bill's been wet at some point. You can tell from the discoloration and the waviness across the bill. Nothing there. Getting down there to the last few. $5 note, also been wet. A little bit of a press through the serial number, but like I said, unless you can really, and the only reason you can read this, because it's up to the light, but unless it's really actually printed all the way through, albeit backwards, I wouldn't consider it super collectible there. Nothing on that guy. Really beat up $1 bill. Also a 2013 bill, printed all appropriately though. Really discolored and beat up. So nothing on that guy. Last but not least, another $20 bill. 2013. So newer. Bit of discoloration here, but that looks to be some pen marks or something like that. So we'll set it aside and we'll look at what we did come across, which is a nice, reasonably decent condition $20 Series 2013 $20 Star Note or replacement note. And since we've updated our Star Note lookup and our bill information on VarietyErrors.com, I'm going to jump over to there after I upload this video and see what the run number is for this Star Note, how rare or possibly not rare it is, and let you know. Let me know in the comments below what you've come across in your bill searching recently. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video, and happy hunting.